When I was 12, I went to my friend's house every day after school. She was always tired. We'd try to do homework, but she'd usually fall asleep. Her mom's collection of irons lined the wall around us. So I drew her. Sleeping people sit still, and in the weird piece of basic cable and latchkey suburbia, drawing my friend Sydney was like meditating with a deadline. Could I get it all down before she woke up? If I go fast enough, can I master the angle of her glasses before they shuffle sideways down her face?
That never bothered me.
I have dozens of drawings like this, of her, of anyone. The girl sitting in front of me in English, her crazy blonde curls spilling all over her polo, that jock's leg weirdly stretched across the aisle. When I found someone who wasn't moving, I was intense, full of furtive staring, hoping to grab enough of them before they noticed me. It wasn't about the who, it was about practice, I thought. I draw from photographs. I draw characters from games, characters I made up. I drew people I loved, people I wished loved me, a boy I knew, a boy I'd never met, my cat, myself, to capture them, to learn them, to make them my own. I kept telling myself that ultimately, when I got good enough, I'd start drawing things that meant something. Big, heavy pieces with emotional impact and subtlety. But I never got there, and it wasn't enough. Couldn't I draw other things, like cars or monsters? Where was the texture? Why always pencil? Why did they all look so plastic?
The stems in their spines, and in their hair, the thorns.
Partway through my senior year of high school, I started to become aware that I was not real. Things passed by me all the time. I was nearly 18, but in much bigger ways, I was still hardly a child. I could not understand why people around me were making terrible choices when all our lives we'd been told not to make them. My eyes were shallow waters that still feared the bottom. Maybe that's why I didn't know how to draw dark lines, or why I always used the paint straight as a tube, or why I never knew how to talk to others when someone from high school are littered with drawings of my hands, lined with please first that I never wanted to share. Just a child, stumbling.
I have no one to trust but myself.
Aware of the rules.
Perhaps it is better this way.
It's not real. The pencils are more foreign to me now. There are too many arts in my head and not enough time to practice them all. Every time I try to look at something to draw it, I have to look at it twice. The first time is askew, the angles are wrong, my eyes have forgotten how to measure. The second time, the lines lean better. Maybe the distances aren't perfect, but I can see what I should be seeing. I am always remembering how to look at eyes and see their spread, how to push a nose away from a face. I never got to meaning. I never got beyond practice. But I got people to let me look at them. I got people to sit for a portrait when they never knew it was happening. I have a spiral-bound collections of friends and strangers, and the folds of their clothes, and the feelings on their faces, and the curves of their glasses. I am a slow, imperfect photographer. My favorite way to lose time stretches the minutes across paper. I wish you had been around long enough for me to make it. Every time I draw a person, part of me is always drawing my friend Sydney. She is still where I left her, asleep sometimes, laughing the rest, and everyone else I draw is in the same place, on a page, somewhere, not always one that I have, but one that I remember. And I, in the middle of all this, am trying to wring stillness out of some short time, head buzzing with indescribable calculations and just trying to put a pencil to friendship, trying to say, I love you. Please know that. When I don't always know how to use those words.